Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. I have a very special guest today, the one and only Gary Call. He is with Kin Cosmetics North America. He has been such an amazing ally, friend, cohort, however many words I can say. Being an independent educator is a very interesting realm. I
You
kind
feel
of
very
forged my
unloved
way
sometimes, don't you?
through it can be very lonely for sure. And yes, it's easy to align with a manufacturer and be sent to different classes, and they line up all of your education and they tell you what to do, what to say, how to say it, all of the things. And it was important to me to find other resources in the industry that were not pushing the product, saying things a certain way. And that is this gentleman here right now. I can confidently recommend any of his products because when we talk about hair color, I can talk about other brands. And he says, yeah, I absolutely agree. He's not in competition with any other brands. And what sets him especially, but Kin and him especially, is they're all about the actual hairdresser. There's no middleman. There's no 15 people making money on our bottle of shampoo. They're working directly with us, the beauty professionals. So we love Gary. And when I did the teaser for the coffee chat, I can't tell you how many. Oh my gosh, we love Gary. We love Gary. We love Gary. So everybody loves Gary. So I was
Well,
just
thank
admiring
you.
Gary's
Good to
new
be loved.
haircut.
Yeah, those of you that see
So
me lately,
welcome.
I had shoulder length hair for a while, and now we're clean cut again.
I think Gary was going for the man bun, but it just wasn't
Didn't
working.
have the
It
patience.
was more disheveled hobo. I like the clean cut, Gary.
I'll
You
work
know what
on that.
throws me when your profile picture is no beard, Gary. I'm like, who's
Uh-huh.
that guy? I never saw him before.
Yeah, I've had a beard for probably 4 years now, so
It's
I couldn't
interesting
have a
how
beard.
different people look with
I
facial
couldn't
hair.
have a beard till I let my hair grow in because my beard was very gray, and as long as I was coloring my hair, I shaved. So,
Interesting. Very interesting.
and then I went natural, like all of your COVID clients, and that's been
Yeah.
probably 6 years. So.
So
My
are you
I
the
have
one we have to blame for our retouch clients all bailing on us? You
yeah, I have virgin hair. Yes,
grabbed
exactly.
onto the trend of
Yeah,
virgin hair.
yeah. I ran out of people to color my hair, so my kids were tired of me chasing them to put color in my hair. So this is what
I
you
hear
get.
you. I hear you. So we wanted to talk today about summer care for hair. Gary brought these amazing bags to our in-person retreat that say "Hola" on them. They have a big sunshine, and they're like a really cool, like almost wickery beach bag with tons of amazing products. And it reminded me that a lot of times we as stylists go into autopilot in general, but especially in summer, we get guilty of your brain is everywhere but behind the chair. You're thinking about weekends at the beach. How quickly can I get done this guest on a Friday or Saturday to get to the beach? But we forget that our clients look to us for advice, not only about, their haircut and color, but about maintaining the integrity of their hair. So I, as a woman of a certain age in the throes of menopause, I'm noticing like this piece of hair I curled 4 times this morning. And it's just like, really? No, not curling. So the texture of my hair is changing, not for the better. I'm thinning in areas, I'm really dry. Things are changing, but I have never been to a stylist, including my own that work in my salon, that has said, hey, I noticed a change in your texture. We need to shift you into something different. I know you love XYZ shampoo, but it's not working for you anymore. We need to shift this. So, Gary, let's talk about, the things in summer that we may not even realize are a thing that can protect the color that we work so hard to create on these clients. And then they're going to the beach, they're going in the pool, they're going in the ocean, and then they're coming back and saying, my gray's popping through, it's fading, I'm orange.
Well, because this is all about you, let's first talk about your piece of hair that you couldn't curl.
Yeah, tell me
The
what's going on
reason
there.
the reason that it wouldn't curl is because it's lacking moisture. In order to curl hair, it has to have moisture. Moisture doesn't mean wet. It just means that it has to have moisture. So if there's no moisture in your hair, it doesn't curl. And the place we see that most prominently is if I have hair, and Elaine, you're guilty of this. If I have hair that's highlighted, you've created two different textures. One of the textures is the texture that was exposed to lightener, and the other texture is the more natural, less chemically stressed piece. And you'll find if you quickly run a curling iron through the hair rather than a flat iron, if you run a curling iron through the hair, you'll find that the bleach pieces, the lighter pieces, won't curl, and that won't curl as much as the natural pieces. And that's because the lighter pieces are drier. So a good moisturizing leave-in will solve your problem.
So what's an example of that in your line? Is it a leave-in spray?
We have a moisturizing spray that's great that will create moisture, and you spray that on after you get out of the shower. If I talk about winter hair, which is a whole different thing, I am like crazy about leave-in products, either a leave-in cream or a leave-in spray. Some type of leave-in conditioner will do away with the frizz you have in winter, will do away with the dryness you have being out in the sun, will protect the hair. You see, we don't protect the hair with something that we rinse out. So I'm in the shower, I shampoo my hair, I rinse it out. I put the conditioner on my hair, I rinse it out. Now your hair is detangled because it was acidified at the end of that process, so you can now comb it. And if you throw styling products on top of it, you haven't addressed porosity. And so when I take the texture of your hair and let it have multi-porous, and most of our clients have balayage or ombre or some sort of a highlight, you create a situation of multi-porosity. The reason your ends are drier is because they're porous, and your more natural color is not as porous up on the scalp. You have no problem creating volume because the hair is more healthy. But the problem is what a leave-in conditioner does is a leave-in conditioner primes the hair and sets it up so that then when you put a styling product on, the styling product is not absorbed into the hair fiber. Styling products are designed to sit on the outside of the hair. And they're all some sort of a resin or a bonding agent or a protein that coats the surface of the hair to change its texture just a little bit. And as long as you keep it on the outside of the hair, they all perform really well. But if you have super porous hair, it absorbs into the hair. The biggest culprit is mousse, because mousse will absorb into porous hair. And if you ever tried to style hair and it's kind of rubbery and it just doesn't do what you think it's supposed to do, that's mousse on porous hair. And so mousse is the biggest one that we look and we say, oh, I can't use this type of a styling product on this client or on this kind of hair. No, you can use every single styling product on any kind of hair as long as the hair is not absorbing the styling product, because styling products work on the surface, not inside. So that's a big quick. As far as the transition, I think there's a service transition that we need to train ourselves with. The reason our color clients are crazy loyal, the stats in the industry say that a color client stays with you for 12 years in terms of retention. The reason color clients are crazy loyal is because hair color is built around the concept of change. Now, I know we're supposed to be keeping records and we're supposed to write our formulas down and we're supposed to keep track of everything we do. But in reality, in the salon, most of the time, I reassess my client every time she comes in. And I look at her and say, wow, she's getting a little bit blonde. We got to put some lowlights in there. Wow, her end's really faded. We need to make sure we refresh that with a demi-permanent. Oh, here's what's going on. And we address, hey, Anna, we address all of their needs each time they come, which is very different than a texture client. With a texture client, I grab my perm rods before she walks in the door. Well, this is my peach perm lady. So, why would we do anything but a peach rod perm? Well, maybe she wants to change. So color. In the summer, we go lighter. In the fall, we go darker. And in the holiday, we might bump things up and make them brighter or more intense. In the spring, we prepare the hair condition-wise to be highlighted for the summer, and then we highlight and we send them out for the summer. There should be a minimum of 3 color transitions a year for everybody. So now you're in summer. How do I protect the hair? Back to leave-in. If I'm going to magically protect your hair during the summer, I would tell you to wear a hat, and I would tell you to make sure you wear a swimming cap when you swim. Now, you're not going to do that because it's not pretty. But the best thing for your hair color would be to wear a swimming cap and not get it wet, not expose your hair to pool chemicals. We talk a lot about pH, but the pH of a swimming pool, if anybody's got a pool, the pH of your swimming pool, you fight to keep that pH between 7.5 and 6.5 or 7. Usually you want a little bit alkaline. So about 7.5 is where you're just killing yourself to keep your pool there. And that's because you're trying to not grow bugs. Well, I get it, but hair has an optimum pH of 4.5 to 5. So when I take your hair and soak it in the pool, now don't be afraid of the pH of water in the shower, because I don't know about you, but I showered this morning. It took, my hair was wet for 5 minutes. That's not going to change the pH of your hair. But soaking in a swimming pool and spending 4 hours in the afternoon swimming and playing with the kids in the pool, your hair is going to soak and the pH is going to adjust and your hair is going to become more porous. So now how are you going to treat your hair before you get in the pool or treat your hair after you get out of the pool? The primary thing to understand is we blot hair dry. We don't scrub hair dry. If you're coming out of the pool, wrap your ponytail up and squeeze it. The very best thing you can do is get a microfiber turby towel or a turban that you can just wrap your hair up and let your hair dry by absorbing the moisture out of it. Your hair, after being in the ocean or being in the pool, has been in the water, has been underwater and absorbed moisture all the way through the fiber. When you shower, the cuticle of your hair gets wet. The cortex may get damp. Go back to your salon experience. When you do a hair color service that's a 3 or 4 hour process, when you do a texture service especially, how long does it take your hair to dry? You blow dry and remove water and you pop them under a bubble dryer and let them dry out for 30 minutes before you start to style their hair, because their hair is soaking wet as opposed to damp. When you do a haircut, the hair is damp. Okay, have you experienced that difference? Yeah. So if the hair is going to be that wet, it's full of chemicals and crap and whatever's in the pool. So how do I prevent that? Back to leave-in conditioners. So in the morning, I shampoo my hair. I get my hair wet. I put in a leave-in conditioner. Then before I get in the pool, get your hair wet with fresh water, even if it's a bottle of water that you pour on your head and wring your hair out. Because if your hair's wet, it can't absorb any more. If I have a wet sponge and I put the sponge in a bucket of water, it's not going to absorb any water. But I put a dry sponge in the bucket of water, it'll eventually soak up all the water. I want to keep the pool out of the inside of my hair. So that's number one.
Yeah, it's definitely more prevention than fixing it. You hear and you see on forums, everybody's like, my client, her hair is turning green. It's like rubber bands. And you're like, well, where were you when to tell the client to put a leave-in conditioner, wet their hair before they get in, try not to go under.
Sure.
It's the education.
Can we have a product called Sun Protector, which is designed to be sprayed into the damp hair before you go in the pool. And it waterproofs the hair. It contains UVA, UVB protectants and literal sunscreens, which most products don't contain sunscreen for the hair.
Right.
And then it waterproofs the hair so the hair doesn't get wet. Now, as you know, Elaine, part of our company is Cinderella Hair. And in extensions, you have to be crazy careful about sunscreen, because you put sunscreen all over your body. And then there's a magical ingredient in extensions in sunscreen that turn your extensions pink. And once you get pink, once your long, beautiful, flowing extensions hit your shoulders and turn pink because of sunscreen, it's not coming out. You're done.
Interesting.
It's not color correction now. But if you spray a waterproofing agent or sun protector on the extensions, or put conditioner in the extensions religiously and dry it in. You can put sunscreen all over, and it won't affect the extensions, but you've got to be careful. And in my world, a banana clip on top of the head, get your hair off your body. And I'm not, I guess maybe because I'm single, and I don't have anybody sharing my bed much. I wear a scrunchie to bed, braid your hair, put a ponytail on top of your head, or a braid over one ear or something. It's not necessarily the most beautiful thing to have your partner run their hands through, but it protects your hair. And that beautiful flowing hair that everybody loves takes a little bit of work. So
Valerie's asking, what product for sun protection?
um, any leave-in conditioner works. It does not have to be a product that says it's for color fadage or antioxidant or any of those things. At Kin, as I said, we have a whole line that's designed for sun protection. Now, it's interesting because if I look at what those products do, you'll understand what you're looking for. The shampoo for this, it's also called Sun Care. There's 3 products. Sun Care shampoo is designed for, it's a deep cleansing, moisturizing shampoo. So what does that tell us? If you've been to the beach or in the pool, you need to use a deep cleansing product when you get out. It also is moisturizing because the primary action of the wind and the waves and the golf course and the sun is drying out your hair. So you need moisturizers. The second step is a product called Sun Care Reconstructor. And according to Spain, Sun Care Reconstructor is the strongest conditioner we make in terms of moisturizing and rebuilding the hair, because we realize sun is damaging to the hair. So what products do you prescribe your client from any brand? Make sure they have a deep cleansing shampoo to remove the chemicals, a sun care shampoo or a moisturizing shampoo, and you may have to use 2 different ones if you don't have them in a combined thing like we do. And then the last one is Sun Care Protector. Sun Care Protector is the product that waterproofs and protects hair. And Sun Care Protector is really a unique product. You can find a reconstructor and a good moisturizing shampoo other places. The Sun Care Protector is kind of odd, but it's sprayed and left in the hair, and it protects the hair from absorbing stuff, which is what you're trying to do. But again, put a leave-in conditioner in your swim bag and spray leave-in conditioner on the hair, or a moisturizing spray, and spray that on the hair repeatedly over the course of the day. Look for products that contain antioxidants, like heliogenol is one of the primary ones, sunflower seed oil. Anything that contains vitamin E, jojoba oil, all of those things will help protect the hair. But it's protection. And the client, too often we think we're going to be able to solve all their problems. And I only see you once every 6 weeks. I mean, I love you, but 45 minutes every 6 weeks is not going to maintain your hair. You've got to do your homework. And I actually call it that. I said, okay, so your homework is, I will use this shampoo, I will use this conditioner. I need to change styling products because we've now got your hair shorter, we've now got your hair longer, and we've done something different. But shampoo and conditioner and leave-in don't usually change because they're created and chosen based upon the texture and the condition of your hair. And that grows out of your head as a result of your genetics. Now, if I mess around with it, make your hair drier because I've highlighted you or I'm doing color, it's like, yeah, well, then I adjust the shampoo and conditioner for that service. But styling products are chosen for how you want to look. So if you want to be curly, use this. If you want to be smooth, use that. If you want to use straight, use that. You need a pomade, you need a whatever. But don't get caught in the idea that using an oil or some sort of a leave-in styling product is conditioning and nourishing your hair, because it's not. It's 2 different worlds.
I think though what happens is everybody's gotten beat up by the whole, I'm tired of competing with Amazon. I'm not even going to try to sell. And it's not even about selling product. It's about the education and the recommendation of becoming an authority for our clients. When, like I said, I've never had anybody, I go get a facial once a month And
Mhm.
she gives me a hug when I leave and says, "Can't wait to see you next month." And I leave and I'm like, I feel like I have
What do
dry
I rub on
in my
my face?
chin. Yeah,
Yeah.
what tell me, tell me.
And
So
Jason,
then we
the
we were in
best,
Spain.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
The best
We were in
retailers in the
Spain
world are
and
skincare
we
people.
both keep talking at the same time.
The best retailers in the world are skincare people
Yeah.
because we're all smart enough to understand that if she rubs potions and lotions on my face once every 4 or 5 weeks, that's not going to fix my world.
Right.
I got to have whatever it is she's using every day.
Exactly.
Now, where hair is concerned, we're not as savvy and our clients are not as open. So we have to do a little bit of work. Now, what did you do in Spain?
When we were in Spain, Sylvia was my roommate, and she had been my roommate at another event that we went to. And I was watching her do her makeup, and she used this MAC primer. And I was like, do I need a primer? I don't even know what primer is. Let me try that. Tried her primer, went and bought it. This trip in Spain, I was like, oh crap, I don't have any moisturizer. Can I borrow yours? Borrowed her moisturizer. It was lightweight, felt good on my skin, wasn't greasy, heavy. I didn't break out. I'm super sensitive. I just texted her and was like, hey, what's the name of that moisturizer? So I shouldn't need to have a friend that's my roommate show me what I need on my skin. The people that I go to, what I'm trying to say, I'm babbling, but I'm trying to say it's a gift when you sit in someone's chair and they're educating you on how to make your hair look and feel better, your color lasts longer. For the first, I would say, 20 years of my career, I wasn't putting anything on the hair after a color service to bring the pH back down. I was just shampooing, slapping
Sure.
conditioner on, sending them for their haircut, just out of ignorance. I was like, oh, their color's done, right?
Yeah.
Then I learned from you and from other people that are more chemistry intelligent that, of course your hair is like at this high, state of pH and
Right.
alkalinity because it's being, all these chemicals are being put on it. And then we're leaving them raw and naked and sending them out into the world and wondering why they're coming back brassy orange, faded, cracked, and,
Sure.
and
Well,
awful.
we have to take, and it's so simple. We just have to take responsibility and realize that an appointment in the salon is a training experience for the client. Here's
Yes.
what I'm
Amen.
using and why. Here's what I'm using and why. This is what I'm using and why. Now, what part of that conversation is what do you have at home? When you're bored, we have this for you. Now, I you're not going to out Amazon. However, this is your business. Don't give up. Don't throw your hands in the air and saying, well, after my 25 years of experience, I'm going to let my client do whatever they want to their hair and buy their products at CVS and buy their products on Amazon. Who gives a shit? Well, that's not professional. I don't go to the doctor and have him say, you can either take this prescription or go into your fridge and blend up some spinach and put a little bit of oregano in it and put some sunflower seed oil and blend that up and drink that instead. That's not an option when I am at the doctor. The doctor said, this is your prescription, take it, go pick it up. I called it into your pharmacy. If you're
Yeah.
using
And
a
we don't
brand,
question it at all.
I know, it's like, in fact, I call my doctor and say, can you send me the medicine? I don't have time to come see you. I feel like crap. Can you call in a prescription for me? When was the last time somebody called you in the salon and said, my hair's kind of dry. This piece won't curl. What do I need to put on it? No, they just sit home and flail and can't figure out what to do and go to Sally Beauty and talk to somebody with a year of beauty school and 4 years of standing behind a counter schlepping products and say, what do I do? Or they stand
Exactly.
dumbfounded in the aisle at Kroger's and try to figure out what to buy. I mean, that doesn't help either. Publix in your case, but that doesn't help either. It's like, be the expert. How many times does a client come and say, my hair's so fine, my hair's so fine, and you go, well, that's not fine hair. I've seen hair tinting. Your hair's medium texture. It just is fine to you. Based on your background and your family, you've got the finest hair in your family, but you don't have the finest hair I've ever seen. I've seen a whole lot of hair. I've stuck my hands in a whole lot of heads. So yeah, I can look at your hair and tell if it's fine, and it's not. Get over it. Let's help you. Great. What are they trying to tell you? I wish I could have volume. I wish my hair could be fuller. I wish I looked like I had more. Well, I can help you do that based on how we cut it, based on the style we choose for you, based on what what kind of color we come up with. We can introduce products to you. We can even introduce add extensions to add more hair if you're really that concerned. But I have the solutions. Stop selling yourself short. Use your solutions. Solve their problem.
Yeah, the other issue too that I saw at the salon was the client, to your point about the I have such fine hair, they have a story that they're sticking to. And when they're laying back in the bowl and we go to put the pH balancing product on there, they leap out of the bowl. There's water flying over.
Don't
Like, don't put
condition my
conditioner
hair.
in my hair. Yeah, don't condition my hair. And I'm like, it's not conditioner. I have to explain what it is and why. And then once we educate them to what the product is doing, now the 360 exorcist head is you're putting that stuff on, right? That stuff that like
Oh
closes
yeah.
everything down and makes my color
Oh
last
yeah.
longer.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, have
So
you
it's just
found
perspective.
when you start to educate your client, and one of the things that happened to me when I worked in a salon for a while, and then I taught cosmetology school for 5 years. And when I came out of teaching school, I was back working in the salon. And in school, you learn really quickly. You must explain everything always. You can't touch the hair without saying, here's why I'm doing this. Here's why I'm holding the hair this way. Here's why we sectioned like this. Here's what, because somebody's going to ask. So it's just easier to get in this show and tell mode of, we're going to put this in. As you start mixing color in the dispensary, you have 4 students saying, well, I'm putting a little bit of violet in this because she's really gold and she's going to, and you just learn to explain yourself. So I'm in the salon. I'm all grown up now. I'm going to work in a real salon. And I'm working in the salon, and out of habit, I am talking to my client and saying, I'm over directing your hair to this side and cutting it here so that when it comes back over, we'll have some soft graduation on the ends. I'm pulling your hair this way so that it has more fullness. And that was just me. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. It was just me being me. Finally, a stylist came up and just chewed my ass and said, you are so unprofessional. You're teaching the client how to do your hair. You have to stop talking like that. You need to talk about their dog and their aluminum siding and where they went on vacation. I mean, she really just slammed into me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I want to try to be a real hairdresser. And so I stopped doing that. And one time I had a client who said, you didn't pull my hair across my head and take those ends off so that I'd have fullness on my on around my shoulders. And I said, yeah, I did. Well, you didn't tell me about it. Oh, okay. So who does the client love? I remember years ago, it was on a 4th of July. It was just so funny. It was like the day before the 4th of July. It was a Monday. It was just like this week. I had a class and I scheduled a class Monday at the 4th of July, but everybody else at the distributor took the day off. So I'm there all by myself, and I was climbing up a flight of stairs and I fell backwards down a flight of stairs and broke my arm, which had nothing to do with anything.
Oh my
But
God.
I broke my arm, and ended up getting a pin in my elbow. Okay. So I go to my doctor and he pulls out a skeleton and shows me how elbows work. And this is what happened. And this is where the bone was. And this is how this works. And this is what happens. I'm a little bit sciencey, but it's like, I don't care. But I like the fact that he does.
Right.
Have you ever been to take your car to get fixed and they bring out this box of parts? Now, this is your water pump. You see how that was loose and this was squeaky, and when this is like, I could care less. But I like the fact that my car guy is excited about boxes of car parts. I like the fact that my doctor has a skeleton hanging in his closet. I like the fact my hairdresser has a mannequin bolted to her station and is intrigued and excited about what they do. That's all it is. Telling the client about the pH balancer that you're putting on their hair at the shampoo bowl is professional. That's you making sure the client knows you're special. That's adding value. When you add value, you can increase prices. So Keep talking, keep educating.
I saw someone in a Facebook group yesterday saying, I'm really trying hard to get more clients in my chair. I don't know what else to do. I'm thinking of getting foil pack samples of shampoo to give to new clients as like a way to get them in the door. And I was like, I can't not answer this. I was like, think about what it takes to make you leave your current doctor, dentist, hairdresser, whatever, even dry cleaner. Like you have your person, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to leave my person for a sample foil pack of
not a
shampoo.
not a
Like
chance.
it just blows my mind what people think
Well,
attracts new
the
business.
hardest thing in the universe is that we graduate from people come out of school and we think that we're God's gift to everything, and we're going to personally turn the world upside down, and everybody's going to rush to me. It's like, you know, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but everybody already has a hairdresser.
Right.
So you got to somehow prove that you're unique and different and you stand out and you have value, and your clients aren't your friends and your friends aren't your clients. So don't worry about that. But be unique where you are. Be you, because it's easier than being somebody else. I mean, it's easier than putting on a show or an artifice. And it's like, Elaine, you succeeded in your salon because it was all about not it wasn't all about Elaine, but it reflected your personality and reflected who you were, and you attract people. Because I've met some of your clients, and I've met the people that congregate around your, because I've been to your salon, I congregate around. It's like they're reflections of you, because we attract who we attract. But I mean, one of the if you want to build clientele, the biggest thing you do is invite people. Biggest thing you do is talk to your current clients. Talk to the clients you love,
Exactly.
and ask them if they have, and ask them to send their friends. And if they love you, they will. But now you have to ask, because every time they're in the salon, you're busy. You're busy when they're there. They've never been there on a Wednesday afternoon at 2 and seen you sitting there, crying because you've got bills to pay. So you have to invite your clients that you love to send their friends, because the chances are you'll like them too. Don't don't send out a blanket, I need clients from everybody. You have clients you don't like. You're not going to like their
Right.
friends. I mean,
Birds of a
it's not,
feather. Here's another
not
question
going to
for
work.
you. What's the difference between a pH balancer and a low pH 4.5 conditioner?
Um, Nebo, the question isn't about whether it's a pH balancer. Um, a low pH product will affect the hair, and usually the hair is wet when you put it on, so it will effectively dilute the pH, and you'll get a working pH somewhere between 4.5 and 7. A pH balancer, and what we call it is, it's called a buffer. A buffer product is designed, it's a chemical that's designed to control the pH or pull the pH to itself. So an example of a buffer is any shampoo that you use with a sodium hydroxide relaxing system. When you relax the hair with sodium hydroxide, you put the chemical on the hair and it softens and straightens the hair. And to stop it, you have to lower the pH. And so they have shampoo that is chemically designed to lower the pH. At Kin, we have a product called Equilibrant Shampoo that's chemically designed to lower the pH. It's a buffer shampoo. So you're looking for a buffer to pull the pH down. If you don't use a product like that, then you can accomplish similar things with multiple applications. So I think Dennis Gephardt has a protocol for adjusting pH. If you shampoo the hair with a low pH shampoo, then you use a low pH conditioner, then you rinse thoroughly and you apply a second application of low pH conditioner, because it takes steps to bring it down if you're not using a buffer-based product. Now, the problem with that is shampooing with a low pH shampoo, unless you've thoroughly rinsed the hair, will trap alkalinity and undeveloped color molecules and peroxide in the hair, because the pH will start to lower, the shampoo will start to lower the pH. That's why your skin stain is locked in Remember when we taught you in cosmetology school, we said, get that stain off the hair before you put shampoo, off the skin before you put shampoo on it. Because as soon as you put shampoo on it, it contracts and it locks the stain in. Well, it's not locking the stain in, it's just closing the, it closes, it neutralizes the pH of the hair and of the skin and locks the stain in until you rub it with cigarette ashes or find something to alkalize it. Cigarette ashes are ash is highly alkaline. You're just rubbing it with ammonia. Well, if you put a low pH or a low pH conditioner or a low pH shampoo on the hair before it's thoroughly rinsed, you create problems. So some companies, Fermisi was the one I knew the best, make a post-color shampoo called Go Shampoo that has a pH of 9. It's deep cleansing shampoo because you need to remove all that stuff from the hair with a high pH shampoo. Then condition the hair and make it and lower the pH. And that's why they had a reputation for decades of being the hair color that did not fade. And the reason they were the hair color that did not fade is because they removed the color correctly. Everybody else was saying, oh, they've got color treated hair. Let's grab the color shampoo and lather up the hair. Well, what does that do? That starts to lower the pH while there's still hair color crept on the hair. It's just, you got to think through the steps.
When I teach in other salons, the biggest thing that jumps out to me is people are not taught how to properly rinse and shampoo color out of the hair. Like I see them doing a really quick rinse and then
they get it wet and then they get a glop of shampoo on
thing
top
of
of it.
shampoo. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, back up. Rinse till the water runs clear. Make sure you do the hairline first. You're locking that colored stain in there. And the place that I go for the facials that I was talking about, them not sharing what to use on my face, I'm there paying when I leave, and the salon door is on this side. People are coming out of the salon. I hear their ticket at the desk, and all I see is this awful stain around, and I'm like, oh my God, she just paid $300 for $300 for a single and a blowout, and she's got a stain that's going to be there for a week. I like want to pull her aside and be like, let me get that for you.
Let me help you. Yeah, well, and I am a great lover of white shampoo bowls. And the reason I love white shampoo bowls is because you can see when you're rinsing. If you don't have white shampoo bowls, then go to Cosmoprof and get a white strainer screen for your drain, so you can see the color of the water.
Oh, I love that tip because I wimped out. When I redid the salon like 7 years ago, I was like, I really want white sinks, and everybody talked me out of it because Beth always swore by that. She's like, make sure you have a white sink. You can see everything better, when you're over top of it. Sorry, the dog is trying to make a cameo here. But yeah, that drain thing, that's a great tip. I want to do that
thing that
because it is deceiving when the dark.
Is get the lid, like the round lid of a facial cream or a mask. If you've got a white lid, throw the white lid in the sink.
Okay.
And people are like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm doing a class at a salon. I'm running around trying to find something white I can throw into the sink, because I've done a few heads in my life. I need to see if it's clear. I do not know unless the water is running clear, The same way I grab the swatch book and say, what's your natural level? It's like, I don't look at it and say, that's a 6. It's like, get a swatch book. How does it really compare to the 6.0 or the 6N swatch before you start coming up with these, dramatic solutions for how you're going to color their hair. If you start out in Indianapolis and your ticket says Chicago, you got a problem. And Indianapolis
so is everybody's saying, love the white balls. Great tips, Gary. Good morning. You're getting a lot of love on here. So
that's fun. So thank you guys.
So if anybody wants to try any of the sun protection,
I'll give you another Beth tip. Everybody needs to have a white. You need to have a white jacket or a white smock, or a white. I have a lab coat. You have a white lab coat in your salon. When you're doing color correction, when you're trying to figure out a natural level, when something is stymieing you and ruining your eyes, go put on a white jacket and stand behind them and close it. You need to see the client against a white background. Too many salons I go into over decorate and hang tchotchkes and crap all over the walls and paint the walls purple, green, orange, and yellow. I went into a beauty school years ago and they had a navy blue wall on the clinic floor.
Mm.
And I said, well, and this is for brand new students. I said, that's interesting. How warm is your hair color? What do you mean? It's like, let me look at your color formulas. Every single one had gold or copper in it. Why? Because they were compensating for the reflection of the blue wall.
Blue, yeah.
So,
and then when the guest goes in their bathroom with fluorescent lighting really and white warm. Walls, they're like,
oh my gosh, it's like, so you need to have a white wall in your salon. It doesn't have to be the whole salon, but a white wall. And I've there's actually a Benjamin Moore favorite color that I can give you. I can't remember what it is. I have to look it up.
I was just going to say, even buying white paint is stressful because there's so many versions of white.
There's a
some of them
Benjamin
lean
more
cream, some lean more gray, some lean more, yeah.
So I always had a white lab coat. Now I used it for other things in the salon too. My staff would see, oh, here he comes in the white coat. That means he's stressed, or it means I'm doing color correction, or it means don't fuss with him because he'll bite your head off. Because there are moments when it's like, I have to think and pay attention in order for this to work. And so I put on a white coat and they knew it was serious time. Well, really, I was just trying to see what was going on in the client's head. Because if I'm wearing a colored shirt, or even if I'm wearing black, you can't see color against black. And they're standing at my chest. So I'm their background. Unless you send them around and play around with them. So, but having a white jacket or a white coat or a white area in the salon is a huge help.
Great tips.
So, send me an email. I'd be happy to help you. I answer your questions, send you some samples, send you more information about Ken. And we love Elaine's folks. We have bit by bit, we have a lot of our tribe here come into play. And that's cool.
Well, thank you for all of that great information. Thank you all for watching, and reach out to Gary if you have any questions. I know I'm going to be ordering the sun spray because I'm looking a little urine yellow from being in the sun and the elements. And you know how it is. It happens. So it drives me crazy. Right. I'm sitting here looking at it, cringing.
I think Johnny may have
thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Johnny has them? Okay. I'll be stealing it from him. Everybody have a great day.
Have a happy day. See you next week.